Let's get out of the house and do something different today. Oh my goodness, the sun is so bright. I don't know what is going on. Hey guys, Big John here. We're in Alaska. I'm actually over in Mountain View. This is technically considered one of the most dangerous neighborhoods here in Anchorage, Alaska. And we're at the park in Mountain View. And we definitely got some homeless situations going on over here. But yeah, we're just gonna go take a ride around and see what we can find. We got these motor homes back off in the woods there. We got looks like a pretty well-established homeless camp back in there. And I thought this was an actual road that went straight back into the neighborhood. Now they did a bunch of beautification projects out through here where they cut off the access to a lot of these roads. And so now I can't just simply drive on into the neighborhood and check things out. We got this guy here, he's heading off to the store. Now, for the most part, the homeless population here in Anchorage is just a lot of displaced people from the pandemic. Some of them got onto hard times, a lot of drugs. Fentanyl has been a huge problem up here in Alaska, just all over the state. I mean, it's even gotten as far out to the villages and stuff like that. But we're just gonna ride on around and see what we can find, and hopefully we can have something interesting to talk about on our little trip around town here. So I think we're going to turn right on North Lane Street. Now this takes us back into Mountain View itself. There's some pretty big potholes right here. But this will give you guys a decent inside look as to what Mountain View looks like. Now also Mountain View, there's a burned down house over there on the right. And people doing stuff there. But this will give you a good inside look as to what the most diverse neighborhood in the entire country looks like. And for the most part out through here, there's a lot of duplexes, not too many single homes. There's a whole bunch of apartment buildings. Now in the wintertime, it's a pain in the butt for these people to park their cars because the snowbanks come all the way out into the street. And right now we're just turning into springtime. It's April and we're getting ready for breakup. We got a couple single family homes over here on the left hand side, but for the most part this really doesn't ever, and it's never given me that really bad feel like I don't belong here, I shouldn't be driving around, it's a dangerous neighborhood. For the most part, if you're out here in the daytime, I haven't heard of too many problems with people just walking around. Now there's usually kids that wander around here. Like I said, there's a very big homeless population too. So, but the streets are quiet. I mean, they are interesting. This is a neighborhood that's got a lot of history here in the Anchorage area. And when I lived out in Wasilla, I was always told that this was one of the most dangerous places. We got homeless people living across the street. I don't know how they got their vehicle over there. I mean, it's well off in there. I mean, so I don't think they're getting that out until springtime. But it's a lot like any other neighborhood with the exception of the homeless population and people wandering around. And there is a ton of really, really nice people that live in here. I mean, I heard it always had this stigma about the neighborhood and about situations. There's another part of a homeless camp over there. Wow. But this is where a lot of the immigrants and migrants and stuff like that, they would move here because the rent on this side of town is a whole lot cheaper. What in the world? I mean, it's going to be impossible to show you everything I can see Now off to the right here is, I believe, where they have a community garden sometime in the summertime. It looks like one of the structures actually fell down. Now when I was getting ready to move here into Anchorage from Wasilla, I was actually looking at a couple homes out here, and in hopes of finding a halfway decent place to live for my kids. And my wife, she didn't believe this was a good place for us to live, so she didn't want us moving anywhere down here because it is a little bit harder of a neighborhood to live in. As you can see, it's really crowded. It's hard to get past one another through here, and it's just one of those old Alaskan neighborhoods. You just never know what you're going to find or what you're going to run into. And as always, people around here, they're very curious as to who's driving around and what's going on. There's a lot of drug deals that happen all over Anchorage. It's not just here in Mountain View, it's everywhere. And depending on what side of town you live on depends on the price of their drugs. And it's just amazing. Now some of these alleys and side streets are pretty cool. I haven't seen any I've been able to get down yet, because a lot of times people park their vehicles out in the middle of the alleyway, making it near impossible to just drive a vehicle through there. But around this time of year, people tend to throw a lot of their garbage, their refrigerators, their couches. And over there we got a lot of boarded up houses here. That's an old place there. Wow, that place was built a long time ago. It's seen its life. Let's get down here a little bit further and see what else we can come up with. Lots of apartments, lots and lots of apartments. This place over here looks like it's a junkyard. All kinds of vehicles stuffed in there. I bet the neighbors love him, whoever owns that. Looks like they got a small little wrecker business going on over there. We're going to drive all the way down to the end of this road, and it looks like the road turns to the left. We're going to go down that way and see what we can find. It is pretty quiet out here right now. It's very beautiful, by the way. The sun's out, the snow is melting. And let's see, it's about 12 o'clock, and this is what the neighborhood looks like around noon on a Sunday afternoon. It's just really calm, really quiet. Not a whole lot going on. And like I said, there's just a bunch of apartment buildings. Just seems like everywhere. Like this place here. This place has been here for many years. Very small units inside there. These people have to park their vehicles out here on the street, which is really inconvenient, especially in the wintertime, because they're constantly having to dig out their vehicles and play the rotation game. And then when they get home, they might not have a parking spot, because when friends come over, which they do, especially in some of these bigger buildings, they don't have a way to park their vehicle. But all in all, it's really not a horrible looking community as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I wouldn't really have an issue with purchasing a home here, with the exception of having young children. But this neighborhood has undergone a lot of improvements over the last 15 years. And many of these improvements are mainly through the sidewalks, and they also put up like these little ways of blocking entrances and exits into the neighborhood. So if there was some nefarious type stuff going on over here, it would be more difficult for something like a high-speed chase or something like that to happen, and people make mistakes and they make a wrong turn and they'll find themselves on a dead-end street. But we got some motorcycles over here. It's that time of year. These people are breaking out their motorcycles. We got quite a few bikes up there in the yard. Yeah, like I said, you just never know what you're going to see. The scenery overall, we can still see the mountains from here, which is pretty nice. And I tend to stop at like almost all the intersections because people in Alaska in general seem to have a problem with stop signs, and they just tend to run right through them at times. And in other parts of town, they built these little tiny roundabouts, and we might actually have one up here now that I mention it. So they built these little tiny, nope, that's not a roundabout, that's a dead end, but it looks something similar to what's up ahead of us there. Just little tiny things that make you have to slow down. Looks like that's looks like a community center. Free nutritious meals for kids and teens 18 and under. So that's definitely a community center. We're just passing a church, New Hope Baptist Church, and it looks like there's a lot of people in there in attendance today. So I mean, yeah, that's really not that bad. These are some new looking apartments here. Now, a lot of the new buildings that have been going up over here, they're kind of square in shape. And I don't know what this mess is right in front of me. They got tarps, they got everything's walled off. They definitely don't want people looking in there. But yeah, this is like I said, this is Anchorage's most dangerous neighborhood, or at least so to speak. I don't feel like I'm in any danger over here. But then again, I wouldn't be coming over here in the middle of the night and you know, testing my luck, seeing what kind of trouble I can get into, because that's just not wise in general in any major city. And Anchorage is a, you know, pretty good sized major city. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible. Some of these apartment buildings and the way people live here. We're gonna turn right here, come around the block, so I can show you guys one of these alleyways. Now, something that is pretty common to see around here is a bunch of derelict vehicles, broke down vehicles, stuff like that. That's common all over town. And the people that live here, they don't have really big yards, so they have to park their stuff out in the street if it breaks down, so it's just kind of sitting there. And up ahead here, we got another pretty good sized boarded up building. It could have suffered a fire or something like that. There's been a lot of fires over here on this side of town. And then sometimes when these buildings become vacant, people just kind of squat in them and they wind up starting a fire. We're just gonna kind of cruise on through these alleyways here. Now, this is as clean as I've ever seen these alleys this time of year. Now, I wouldn't have done this a month ago because this would have been all packed down in heavy snow and ice and it'd be a real pain. But as you can see here, we got mattresses tossed out. There's a person over here on my right. They just saw me and ran and hid behind a shed. So I'm not sure. Now, the dumpsters, yeah, they're always overflowing. And that's pretty common. It doesn't matter if you live on the rich side of town or the poor side of town. And parking is a problem. So just imagine having 4 to 5 feet of snow stacked in here with all these vehicles. It would be near impossible to park your vehicle, let alone be able to get out when it got horribly bad. Ugh. That was a little rough. See if I can go find you guys another alleyway to cruise down. Let's see. Well, here is another alleyway in Mountain View. As you can see, we got to have access to the dumpsters, so that means the garbage truck has to be able to get through here all year round. I couldn't imagine just trying to come through these neighborhoods in a garbage truck and negotiate all these vehicles, because the snow gets deep in here, and it's really hard to remove the snow. Even for these people that have driveways that we can see on the right and left, they still have to be able to move the snow enough to get their vehicles in and out and park. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, for me to think about living in a neighborhood that's this tight, and then people want to, you know, say that trailer parks are horrible and all that. So now this is a dirt type alleyway ahead of us here. And we're just cruising around checking it out. You know, we don't come over here to judge these people, because everybody's got to live their own life. Not all these families are, you know, these aren't bad people that live here. And granted, you can run into trouble anywhere you go, you know, especially the further out in Alaska you get. And this is just what it looks like here in downtown Anchorage, and, you know, one of these little communities. There's an old Lexus sitting in the snowbank. I don't think that thing's ran for a while. It's got a broken windshield. Oh my. I always wanted to own a Lexus, but man, I just couldn't afford to fix it. So, a whole pile of mattresses over there. Wow. So far, this has been fun for me. It's been nice to get out, enjoy the sunshine here. And I believe this is the back road of Mountain View. Now, on the other side of that snowbank, just in front of us, that's the military base, the Air Force Base, Fort Richardson, Elmendorf area. So we're gonna see if I can get around this car here. I'm not sure what they're doing. Hopefully they don't fly a door open in my face. Just gonna cruise on by, take it nice and slow. But so far, one of the things that I haven't seen in the alleyways is just a pile, an absolute mountain of stuff. That was something I was curious about this time of year, because years ago when I came through here and I was looking at things and checking out places and just being nosy, I saw a whole bunch of garbage, just random nonsense, just stacked up in the alleyways. It was just amazing, the amount of refrigerators, mattresses, and stuff like that. But wow, okay. Beautiful day. I'm loving it. Sometimes just trying to get out of here is a pain in the butt, because if you don't live over here, you don't know the main roads that come in and out of the neighborhood. Because when I try to leave, I usually get confronted with some obstacles that I either need to turn around or take a right and a left just to get out of the neighborhood. So even coming over here, just cruising around, can sometimes be a pain in the butt. We're gonna try to get out of the neighborhood right now and go check out some other stuff. And again, I'm met with an exit that I cannot get out. It says do not enter. You're not allowed to go that way. So now I need to turn and try to figure out how to get the heck out of Mountain View. Crazy. Now I just saw this vehicle turn left here, so that means most likely there's an easy way to get out. And that says no outlet too. What in the world? You see what I'm facing here? I'm just trying to get out of the neighborhood. So if I was in trouble and I was in a high-speed car chase and I didn't know the neighborhood very well, now granted the people that live here know the neighborhood really well, but I'd be faced with all of these obstacles, and this is the stuff that they put in place when they did their beautification projects. Well, we're gonna I don't know where this goes, so let's take a trip down here. This looks like some more apartment buildings. Now that building there, I can actually get out right there, so that's what I'm gonna do. This building in front of me here looks like it could be apartments, could be businesses, but it's built out of cinder blocks. So maybe it's like inexpensive type housing or something like that. I don't know. We do have a lovely Samoan population here, and all the Samoans I know that live up here in this area are just absolutely amazing people. They're super loving. They're very family oriented. A lot of them are extremely religious, and they just care about people in general, and they take care of each other when they live over in a place like this. We're gonna head on over to the park, take a quick drive through to the park, and then we're gonna probably head on home. Now over here, this is a giant homeless population off to the right-hand side and off to the left. People have built all kinds of makeshift structures in here. I've seen people come out of the woods back here off to my right, you know, with weapons and stuff like that, chasing one another and, you know, threatening to kill people. You know, there might be a little dispute or something like that. Well, this park has gone completely by the wayside, and these people don't have anywhere to go. I mean, they lived out here this entire winter, just like this. Some of them have been out here for a couple of years, and they're just lucky to get fed half the time. Now, there is a little bitty shelter, not really a shelter, but a place where these people can get food throughout the year, and they do that, I think, either once a week or once a month. All of these people can go over there as a community. They get in line, and there's basically a whole lot of food that comes out of this big trailer, and they donate food to all these people over here. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. But hey guys, you know, tell me what you think of Alaska's most dangerous neighborhood. Would you live here? Is this a place you would even consider? I mean, I got young kids, so that's kind of debatable. We're gonna head on home.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanity.
Now hey guys, let me know if these are videos you're interested in. I can definitely go out and do more videos like this around the Anchorage area, and hopefully show you guys a little bit more around Alaska, you know, the place where I live. This place is super fun to live. There's a whole lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of nature. There's all kinds of wildlife adventures we can get into, and I don't mind sharing. So, as always, please let me know down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if this is stuff you're interested in, and we can definitely provide a whole lot more of these.